All right, welcome back to the Business of Love. My name is Dan Lear. I'm your host. I'm here with my co-host in business and in life, Jennifer Lear.
Hey.
What's up? How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm excellent. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm just amazing.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, I'm tired of saying I'm on fire because I say it every time.
Okay.
And see, I usually don't see the same people every time.
Oh, yeah.
So when I'm out in the business world, I'm not seeing the same people every day. So I say it all the time, but our audience here is like, oh, good God, throw some water on the guy.
He's always on fire.
He's on fire. I'll share with you my strategy on that someday about how to change people's association to you with the power of your attitude, which should be a great podcast.
I think so too.
That's a good call.
Because it's good for relationships and business. So,
It is. Today's episode, listen, if you've got some couples who are struggling right now, make sure you call them and send them this link here because this is how to get the passion back in your relationship. Oh, good Lord. Are you excited about this episode?
I'm excited.
I'm fired up about this. But if we had any more passion, we would just explode.
Exactly
in this
right.
relationship.
The house would burn up because
Burn
it's
up.
so on fire.
No, this is actually great because we've actually practiced these particular steps. Like all marriages, no matter how much in love you are, I mean,
Yeah.
things go up and down. You get distracted. You have life circumstances, and so what I want everybody to know, Jennifer, is that I mean, you are my soulmate. I love you more than anything in the world, and I'm a human being. So I'm saying that because it's normal for people to fall in and out of passion during the relationship.
Yeah.
So just because at this moment you don't have passion in your relationship doesn't mean like, oh, it's over.
Right.
And
right. This
screwed,
relationship
it
is
sucks.
done. I'm starting over. Throwing it away. Yeah.
So that's not it. It's just really recognizing it and doing something about it. So, you know, what I've found, the research that I've done, there's a few things that cause the passion to wither or wane, if you will. And obviously, first and foremost is job stress.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, let's just face it. It's weird because here we are in 2019 and technology's blowing up and we can do more things faster, better than we ever done before. And everybody is just so effing busy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's so busy.
It's ridiculous.
It's hard to get people on the phone right now
Yeah.
with all of our new technology that's supposed to make us so available.
I know. It's exactly right.
That's what I'm saying. It's just crazy, right?
Crazy dichotomy there.
So, I mean, obviously the viewers know I do keynote talk. So I'm speaking all over the world on sales and leadership and peak performance. And I talk to people hundreds, if not thousands of people a month who are in this stress. I mean, they're getting their quotas raised. They have to produce more. They have to work more. They have sometimes less resources. The bottom line, stress goes up and some people don't handle it very well. And then they're able to it pulls back on their relationship, which you can imagine, right? And then another one is life changes, which you and I can both talk a lot about.
Yeah.
So life changes such as, I mean, everyday stuff like, you know, having children,
Yes.
death in the family, medical situation that we've both went through. I mean, you as my caretaker went, I don't know, 18 months, almost 2 years with like, you know, just basically helping me eat and, you know, just like almost like not a small child. I mean, I was
No,
independent, but
yeah,
it's just a whole
definitely.
different level where
But it was definitely a caregiver position where it's
Yeah.
about you and your needs. I mean,
Yeah.
that took precedence 100%.
yeah, and I'm not giving you what you need and you're just working through it. I mean, it's a challenging thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then another thing is sometimes you get married and then you've got the new kids coming in.
Yeah.
So you've never experienced that before. And then you've got your kids plus the new kids and like, oh my God, the romance is gone.
Oh,
The passion
seriously.
is gone.
I mean, I am always amazed when people get married and then they get pregnant, and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, give yourselves a shot. I feel like, you know, I've never had kids and I never wanted children before. Like, I never cared to birth my own children. And, but you know, when I finally found the man of my dreams, I considered it. Like, I would have loved to have that because I was in a euphoric state and I had all this oxytocin flowing through my body, and I met, you know, I was in love with you, and I was like, oh, to have a child with you. And it was very difficult at that point because I finally found the man that I did want to do that with. And I never had a desire to have children, but still, like, people who get married and get pregnant, or get pregnant and then get married, and I'm always just like, whoa, when do you, like, how is that still sexy? Like, how does, well, you and I talk about that, right? Like, even the kids, when they come home from college, when they're home, it's like, oh, okay, we're not walking around naked like we were, or we're having to, if we do want to have time with ourselves, like we have to make sure nobody's home or the music's on or like something, is happening there. So you're always working around that. I mean, I've heard some people talk about, nap time was really a good time for when you had kids, from what I hear.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah. And so, I'm really more than sales and peak performance and leadership. I'm really a human behavior expert, right? So it's just understanding that our behavior is impacted by many, many, many things. And so it's like anything else. We oftentimes, we're focused, human beings are focused, and all of a sudden something pulls us off, and then something pulls us off. Sometimes it's because of need, sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's just distraction, and sometimes we need to pull ourselves back. So just because the passion is gone, that doesn't mean you're not able to get it back.
Right.
And it's
Absolutely.
just part of the game. That's what I want our listeners to know. It's just part of the game. I'd love to say that you're going to be in a state of euphoric passion for your whole life, but things transpire. I mean, we've been through a near-death situation. We've been through ex-wife, situations with my ex-wife. We've been through financial situations. Yeah. And so during those situations with you and I, we're still able to communicate and keep the passion alive, because these are just situations, circumstances outside of us.
Yeah, well, there's also time, right? So there's also, okay, we've been married for 10, 20 years, and how do you keep the passion alive? There's something that Esther Perel, one of the psychologists that I adore, and she talks about relationships, right? When we were talking about how to recover from cheating, that I mentioned her during that segment.
Right.
And one of the things that she mentions about, passion, how can you get passion back in a relationship? Absolutely. There is 100% that availability, but she explains, this is really cool. She explains that, okay, so once you're in a relationship, once you're married and you're settled, and you're always like, people are longing for that. So they meet and they're excited, and there's passion, and there's intrigue, and there's question marks. And, part of passion when you're in the beginning of a relationship is the question marks that happen. You don't know, does that person really love me? Where is that person going? There's all of these things. So passion is, she says, passion is to acquire, so it's a verb, and love is to be settled or to feel. Like it's more of a noun. It's I think it's to be settled. From what I remember, and I love that because it was so. It painted a perfect picture of what passion is. It's a verb. It's to go and get, which is why it's so hot and steamy. And when you're in love, it's soft and warm and wonderful. And it's a whole different way, which is understandable that maybe passion would veer in a long-term relationship when you've been together for years and years and years, because you're just in that comfortable love, and you're my friend. You're my buddy, and, we've been through it all. And, I've seen you best and worst. You've seen me best and worst. And now it's like, it's comfy. Like, I know you're not going anywhere. We're good. And so gone is that mystery or that intrigue or, the things that created passion and that steamy stuff from before. So I thought that was a really great explanation.
Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes in those situations where you've come to that situation where we're like best friends and buddies, and I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway, you start taking each other for granted. So and then you also lose the passion that way too.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Because you're just like, it's my friend, what's up, and change your behavior. So let's talk about excuse me, some action steps. Right.
Yep.
So what I want the listeners to know is, first of all, if you're feeling it, probably your partner is too.
Yeah.
Right. So don't pretend like it's all you and you're the only one who thinks that. So your partner feels it. So the message is act now versus later, right? Always go forward quickly versus waiting. So.
And why?
Because that's a success principle.
Okay.
I mean, do it now.
Yes.
Do it now. What are we going to wait for?
Yeah.
2 weeks till it gets worse and something big blows up?
Yeah.
Or you do something stupid or something, or you're so angry that you stack something on and then you say make some comment that you shouldn't. I mean, this thing is like, you got to feel it, you got to talk about it.
Yeah, I just wanted you to explain that
yeah.
because I think it's important. It's
Yeah,
important to
I mean,
know.
once you know, I mean, like you talk about trusting your gut, right? Your gut is intelligent. As soon as you get that feeling, you got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. You got to know. So, number one, action steps. All right, ladies and gentlemen, write these down. Number one, talk about it. You see a common theme here. It's called communication, right? So talk about it. Hey, you know what, baby, I love you, and you're the woman of my dreams, and oh my God, I've never felt that way about a woman. And, you know, we've been together for over 10 years now, and I just need some help with something. I just feel like the passion is gone, and I just want to talk about it. How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
So that would be an entry for me. That's how I might talk about it, nice and soft. And then you would probably tell me I'm crazy, and what are you, nuts? Take your clothes off and let's make it happen.
Let's get down to it. Come on.
So talk about it. Number two is one of my favorites. And this, I just went through this recently. So number two, write this down. Decide what type of partner you want to be. All right. So I think this is really key, Jennifer. So like we've had some situations recently where we had to talk about a relationship, and, you know, I'm a guy who thinks big and want to do big things, and maybe I get lost in the simple sometimes. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking through my thoughts right now. And, you know, there's some things I took you for granted, or I wasn't present, or whatever. We talked about it. And so I decided that, you know, what kind of partner do I want to be? What kind of spouse do I want to be? What kind of husband do I want to be? I want to be a great husband. I want to be a husband that you talk about. I want to be a husband that you brag about. I want to be a husband that you share with your girlfriends how much that you love me, and that I'm so kind and loving and easy to work with. And that's what I want. Just like in business, where I want to be known as a guy who gets things done, who has excellent, my keynotes are off the hook, exceeding expectations, top in the country, number one in Las Vegas, all those kind of things, right? So why wouldn't you want to be an amazing spouse, right? Since we want to be great at anything else we do, not just be average, right? So I guess this is a personal question, because for me, I want to be the best at whatever I do. So I want my wife to experience that as well. So I made a decision that I want to be that spouse that does the little things. Excuse me. And what you find is when you do the little things and you're present, the passion picks up. And so it's usually as a result of something else.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Number three, let's talk about this because we just went through this with you. Schedule something special. Right? So you were feeling just a little empty. It wasn't that you were having anything going on with me, and it's not that our passion was down, but I'm using this as an example. You're like, man, I just need to recharge. I just need to put my feet in the sand. And so
I was depleted. I needed something to, because I didn't feel my best for you. I mean, we weren't having problems per se, but I definitely didn't feel like I could give all my all to you because I didn't have my all to give. I just needed to get out. I needed to get out and to spend time away from. Now we work and live in our house, which I think is amazing and also has its challenges because we never leave the office ever. And so it's never like a safe haven to go home. It's always where I work and live. There's never a separation between the two. And we're both there. That's another thing too. So I wanted to get out of our environment. I wanted to get you away from our house and away from Las Vegas, be in, you know, at the beach where we love, and be at a place where we've had so many great experiences, which is Hermosa Beach. And, you know, just be able to be with you and to forget everything else and to reconnect with my husband. And then we got the opportunity to go up to Santa Rosa and take it even further, which was awesome, you know, because that was really a different experience, you know, and we really got to be together. And it was, it was the most magical experience. And I'm so glad that I said something and said that I needed that.
Right.
And time with you. I mean, I didn't want to go alone. I wanted to go with my husband. Right.
So Jennifer was just feeling depleted. So we we live in Vegas. So we just drove down to LA. It's 3.5 hours, 4 hours right to Hermosa Beach. And we checked into a little hotel that we like. And we just literally, I've got friends down there and clients and some of our best friends, but we literally just went to walk on the beach.
Yeah.
We walked on the beach, hung out with each other, and went to eat good stuff, and just kind of rekindled that feeling that we had, because we used to go down there when we were dating a lot.
Yeah.
And so
really great memories.
And it wasn't, I mean, again, do something special. Now, that wasn't
Yeah.
an expensive trip for us.
No.
We drove down there
Yep.
and we were literally, you know,
We didn't do much. It was
No.
just really more about being together. And I
Yeah.
mean, we even watched Netflix at night.
yeah,
you know?
we did. We watched Netflix.
Right? So
at
it's not
night.
like I just want to be with you and out of our element. You
Yeah.
know, I just need to get, and like I said, in a place that I have so many good memories and so much love, you know, for you there. And
Yep.
it was incredible. And it was just what I needed, just
Right.
for the doctor. And I felt reconnected when we got back. Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Reconnected. So,
That didn't sound too. You're like,
no.
I did reconnect.
Reconnected. I was sorry. I was taking a note here. I was reconnected.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was scheduling something special,
Yeah,
right? You just wanted to go to Hermosa Beach, put your feet on the beach, on the
Yeah.
sand, walk with your husband. We did that. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Had lunch on the beach and just hung out, right? Number 4. This is my favorite one, baby. This is my favorite one.
Yes.
So think about this.
Okay.
When we first started dating, okay, or for that matter, any guy you've ever dated,
Yeah.
we're always coming in at our best self.
Oh, please. Absolutely.
We're our best self. We're
Oh, yeah.
shining high. We're riding high.
100%.
Unstoppable, unbelievable, charming. So, number 4 is get back to your charming self,
Yes.
right? When you fell in love with him or her, you weren't the person you are today. You weren't the person that's working all day and not coming home and then not smiling or not asking about his or her day. That's who you weren't that person.
Yeah.
You were charming
Yeah.
because that's how you got him or her, right? So, I just wrote down a couple tools, right? That I actually used. Number 1, or this is number 4A, make him or her a priority
Yeah.
because they were a priority. So make them a priority.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, when you first started dating, right?
Oh, it's
There's
all
only
about-
one person you thought about.
In the world. And you would cancel everything else. I was late to other stuff. If I was with you, my girlfriends were like, "Hey, I thought you were coming down." I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it tonight. I mean, there was only you, right?
So get back to your charming self and make your partner a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. B, treat him or her with love. Seems pretty simple, right? When you're treating somebody with love, that means you're not being sarcastic and you're not digging and you're not being upsetting. You know, you're just treating like someone you love, right? Think about that. Treating your partner like someone you love. That's really interesting. So another, again, because never leave a place of a decision without taking action. So think about this. On a scale of 0 to 10, rate yourself right now on how you rate yourself on treating your partner with love right now. 0 to 10. Just for you. Don't even show your partner. Just 0 to 10. Just so you know where you are. Because think about it. Maybe you wrote down a 7. Think about what your relationship would be like if you raised it up to an 8 or a 9. All right? Everybody talks about, not everybody, that's a generalization, but people talk about, yeah, well, a relationship as the years go on, our sex life gets worse and worse. Well, I think that's also paralleled to how you treat each other and how you prioritize each other, right? I mean, that's just the amount you put in is what you get out.
Yeah.
This is one that really hit me was C, 4C is your partner deserves better than others. And so, and I'm just being very honest, very transparent. You know, we had a discussion, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, 4 months ago, where, you know, you weren't happy with the way I was treating you on occasion. And so, I mean, I looked at myself as I always do. And, you know, here I am on fire and being Mr. Nice Guy and Mr. Positive to all these people out there who don't matter. And then I treat you average. That is just not acceptable. So, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's mind-numbing that I would treat my wife worse than I treat a stranger on the street.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all. So that is a key. Have I made some good adjustments there, baby?
You've had amazing adjustments. And what's really cool is that it's made me feel so loved because you've worked hard to make those adjustments. And I think that's the coolest thing looking back and going, wow, like he loves me that much that he's, you know, changing his behavior and working on himself and adjusting certain things and interactions. And, you know, just a woman wants to feel cherished. And I felt cherished at that point. So yeah, you've done incredible work, really have. First of all, it's amazing that you did it, because not everybody's able to change their behavior and so fast, because you did do it pretty fast.
Well, I think anybody can.
They can, but I don't know if I don't know if they know how. You know how. Like, you have the skill set and understanding of how to do it, and you're able to do it and implement it, and that's what's so powerful. Like, the fact that you did it so fast and you worked on it so consistent. At first it was, awkward, because I think you were kind of trying on a new pair of shoes, but then it became really, you settled into it, and it was just so beautiful, and never have I felt more loved than at that moment, because it saved our marriage and saved our experience together, and there's nothing like that.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and I think it's important to recognize that, Jennifer and I she's the angel. She's the best ever. And still, there are times we go through ups and downs with our connection or our passion. So these are steps that we look at. These are steps that we take, because it's a journey.
Yeah, well, it's life, right? Because we
life.
just kind of get into the rhythm of life, and it's hard to pay attention to everything all at once. I mean, you have to pay attention to your business, you have to pay attention to your kids, and you have to pay attention to your wife. There's a lot there, so you do have to reassess and look and go, whoa, I need to start paying attention to my husband, because I had that issue, right? So I had to, because I was gone a lot. I was so hyper focused on my business, and my poor husband's, sitting at home alone watching sports, and like, where is my wife? And that's not fair.
Yeah, and where's my wife?
Yeah, and so, but I knew that, you love when we have dinner together, so I was making sure that I was home or not working by dinner time, and we'd have our special moments and have our golf cart rides, which we love in our area. And so we'd have our connection time, but, making the choices to do so, which I think you feel more loved with that too.
Absolutely.
With that comes more connection, and then ultimately more passion. So
yep.
I think.
Awesome. So I want to just give an example here, because action steps are the key, right? We can talk about this all day, but doing something about it is everything. So I'll give you a simple example, like how we take people for granted. All right. So when I first started dating you, obviously, imagine if I were sitting at my place, or we were just dating, and you came in. Imagine I was watching a basketball game or something. You came home from meeting with your girlfriends at 7 or 8 at night, and I was dating you, and you came in. I would have turned off that TV and put on some music and say, "What's up, baby? Let's talk."
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so what happens is, over time you get close, you get tight. She knows me. She loves me. I love her. We understand each other. And then you just, like you said, you get settled. That's human behavior. We settle in. And that's why so many people have a hard time breaking habits, because habits are nothing more than things you do every day.
Okay.
Some people have success habits. Some people have habits that are unsuccessful.
Yeah.
So we get into these ways of being that turn into habits. So as of course, now that we're together, we're together, we're secure. And so what I found myself doing is, you'd be coming home sometimes late, and you'd walk in, and I would still just keep the TV on. And nothing wrong with that. But when I went through this epiphany, I thought about it. When I was dating you, what would I do? So now when you come home, just like last night, you came home late. And so I was up and watching some UFC stuff. Yeah. And I was watching it through the Apple TV, through my iPad. And so when Jennifer comes in, I just pause it. Mm-hmm. I pause it.
It was just so nice. It was so great to connect with you.
And so that's what I do now.
Yeah.
Right. And so the point is like, recognizing it is one thing, doing something about it is another. So the simple thing for me of turning off the sound or pausing the TV when you come in, if I'm watching it, is just one small thing that makes a big difference in our connection. Yeah. It shows that you're a priority, and it shows that you're important. Yeah. Right?
Yep.
So that's just one thing that I did to create the love. All right. So let's do a quick review. We've got some action steps here, right? How to get passion back in the relationship.
Yep.
Number 1, talk about it. Number 2, decide what type of partner you want to be. That is big. I mean, do you want to be average?
Yeah.
Or do you want to be extraordinary? 3, schedule something special. Do something special. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just do something special. Could be a walk. Could be anything.
Right.
Number 4, get back to your charming self.
I love that.
Get back to your charming self. Make him or her a priority. Treat him or her with love. And your partner deserves better than others. And I'm sticking with that.
I love it.
Because it's working for me.
It is working for you.
So on a scale of 0 to 10 right now, how would you rate the passion in our relationship?
I would say a solid 8.
Okay. What would have to happen for it to get to a 9 or a 10?
I think nothing that you would do. It's more on my side.
I see.
For sure. Because I'm attracted to you. You know, you're hot and you're beautiful and you're smart and fun and witty and stuff. And so, you know, as we've talked about on another program, I'm going through some female stuff right now. So, you know, I would like my body to respond a little bit better. So I don't know, whether it's some hormone therapy or something to get it to level 10. That's what we'd have to do. But I mean, that's my honest answer.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Just curious. I mean, because, that's a unique situation, but I think that...
Not so much. I think it's common for women.
that's true. No, it's true, actually.
That's not
That's
unique.
true. And it's, well, obviously, men,
Yeah.
it was a problem for men a lot before, the
Yeah.
blue pill came along.
Right. I mean, I have girlfriends that that are like, I could care less if I ever have sex ever again, because somehow they lost their passion. So they don't.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as you were going through this, I thought this was so powerful because I'm like, oh yeah, no, he doesn't turn off the TV. Yep. He doesn't get out. Like I was just like, no, they don't. They do travel, but no, he doesn't treat her like. Like I just can see little things that have dwindled. In their relationship. That no wonder that's missing.
Yep.
They love each other, but the passion's just not there.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed. So anyway, passion comes and goes, but we can get it back. So you got to work on it. And so my belief is that you can get passion back in your life, but you have to recognize it and make a decision about what kind of person you want to be, and then implement the strategies.
I love it.
Right?
I love this is powerful.
Matter of fact, I feel more passionate now than
Ooh.
I have in the last week.
Well, what are you doing tonight?
I'm looking for you.
Okay.
That's right.
I might let you find me.
Hey, that's good news. I'm out of here. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining in. The Business of Love. Thank you so much, Jennifer Lear.
Yeah.
You're incredible.
Thank you,
for
Dan
always
Lear.
bringing that good energy and
Yeah,
that your heart. And ladies and gentlemen, please check the website. We've got some special stuff going on here in Vegas. Some couples retreats and getaways. And let me tell you something. Spend a weekend with us. Your life will never be the same. All right, y'all. Have a great day. The Business of Love.